the video that you just saw was a time-lapse of me coloring and tracing in Optimus Prime for the Transformers franchise to show Peter Cullen how much I enjoy watching his work on screen and hearing his voice on screen at the same time. And that is why today on GalaxyCon, where they're bringing the conventional experience directly to you, I'm very happy to say that I'm going to be speaking to fellow Canadian voice actor Peter Cullen once again. This is actually my second time meeting Peter Cullen this year. If you're not familiar with his work, you might know him as the voice of Eeyore in some of the Winnie the Pooh movies and TV shows that he took part in, but it's more likely you know him as Optimus Prime for the Transformers franchise, both in animation and in live action. That is the Michael Bay movies. And with the new movie Transformers Rise of the Beasts coming out in June 2023, and they're still in the post-production process, I don't see that changing anytime soon. So before my virtual chat session with Peter Cullen starts, I think I'm going to do something nice for Peter. As again, I enjoy watching his work on screen, and this is where this next time-lapse video comes in. So I'll be right back. And finally, to complete the look, I'm going all Canadian tuxedo for this virtual chat. And I think I did that the last time I spoke with Peter Cullen, but yep, about 7 or 8 months later, I'm going all Canadian tuxedo for Peter Cullen again. And again, Peter and Canada, as you can tell by the flag behind me, I salute you. Carry on in Godspeed. And this is for all the Canadians out there, and the Transformers fans as well, who grew up watching the Transformers franchise. And before this video starts, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications and like the video as well. And be sure to follow me on my Instagram page at Seb Sanford, link is in the description. And with that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy my second virtual video chat with Peter Cullen at GalaxyCon. This one's for you. Yeah, the helmet, it still fits. Anyways, enjoy. Hello, Peter. Oh.
Hey, Seb.
Hey, it's great to see you again. Let me take it off. Let me take it off. I still have the helmet. I still have the Optimus helmet.
Seb, where are you, in Montreal?
No, I'm still in Bath in England.
Oh, for crying out loud.
So I made all of this for you.
Well, thank you. That's neat.
Thank you. I think I'm ready for the snapshot before we begin.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right, ready, guys? Cool. Yeah. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Enjoy the chat.
First off, I gotta say it's a pleasure to see you again, Peter, and I'm still always here to chew on the maple leaf for you. I think that's all I have to say for the intro. So, and I have a few questions that I want to ask you.
Go right ahead. Sure.
Relating to Transformers, and then later on, I'm gonna read to you a letter that I prepped for you these past few weeks. Okay. Starting off with Transformers. So, what's it like when you are voice acting in a movie franchise that has so many action sequences, like big explosions and car crashes, from the safety of the recording studio? And how does it feel when you see the final product of each film?
Well, certainly it takes a lot of imagination to read a script and without any pictures or without anything, just the words by themselves, and to read the description of what may be going on at the time, and to be lucky enough to see a pencil sketch of what possibly is going on. And then what makes it even better is when you see a rough cut of actual footage. Now, I'm speaking specifically of working with Michael Bay on the feature film, and any one of those situations could arise depending upon where we were in the production. But for the most part, I would just be reading a script and or a pencil sketch of what was happening with the description of what was going on. A little difficult And so when you're recording in a situation like that, you do it multiple ways. I would do it considering that there would be a lot of sound going on in the background. I would do it louder, or if there was the opportunity to, have to scream or yell.
Yeah.
These are difficult environments to work in. The best way for me was always working the cartoons with the full cast, because you had a director and you had the rest of the cast. And oftentimes we would have to record a group sound, or to sound like a crowd, where we'd all go, or whatever. And so you would always be able to adjust your voice. If you were having to deliver a single line by itself, you knew what was going on behind you because you just recorded that. So, but in film, it's a different thing. It was much different for me because of the last time I had done a feature film was back in 1986, I think, was the first.
Yeah, 86.
86. And I had to die in that scene. I had to do my
yeah, I noticed.
dramatic death scene. And not realizing, of course, that I wasn't coming back for the series, but that was another thing entirely. But, that was still working with a cast, because we had, outside of Orson Welles, we worked together. And as I recall, that goes back a long time. Gee whiz, 20, 30, too many years.
I don't blame you for forgetting things. So I'm just trying to be a good Canadian.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go on to the next question. I've recently watched the original animated Transformers movie, and I thought it was really fun to watch. And we now find the technology a little old school. But how would you compare the animated franchise to the live-action CG movie franchise that we have today?
Well, I really don't think there's any comparison. The animation stands by itself back in the 80s, and today with the digitalizing and the reality, the totally realistic look of action and warfare, if you will, the automation of a character that has 10,000 moving parts, and to deliver that, through electronical animation is just a phenomenon to me, and certainly not like the cells that they used back in 1984, 85. There's no comparison, as you well know, but it takes on a different sense of reality too, because you could be more cartoonish back in the Generation 1, whereas in the features it has to be more realistic, so the characters have to be more believable rather than cartoony.
Yeah.
And that was an adjustment, not for Optimus Prime, I would say, because he was based on a legitimate leader character. He was presented to me as a leader, and those qualities can only be done one way if you're to be a real leader, and not in the superhero model of the old Captain Marvels or Superman, up and away, none of that existed, all that yelling and screaming. He's maintained his leadership qualities from the very get-go, from the very beginning description of Optimus Prime from the planet Cybertron. I remember it well. Yeah.
I'll accept that answer. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And as I already know, you're voicing Optimus Prime once again for a new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beasts, which I'm really excited for. So, without spoilers, is there anything we can expect to see from Optimus in this new installment of the franchise?
I have done no work at all yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm optimistic, and I've heard rumors, but they wouldn't mean anything to anybody. I think you probably know more about the movie than I do.
I think so.
Yeah. And until the day I am brought in to record, I look forward to that. I look forward to it. I've got a pretty good feeling it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching it. But patience is all it takes. I'm looking forward to 2023.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if they postponed the opening. I thought it was, that's how much I know. I thought it was going to be July 22, but I guess it's
well, it was, but about a month ago they postponed it to 2023.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Hey, Seb.
Yeah.
You're right on, buddy. Good for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyways, it's time for me to ask you some questions outside of Transformers. As we already know, Christmas is just around the corner, a couple of weeks away, and we finally get to spend time with our loved ones, enjoying the turkey dinner and opening presents underneath the tree, which is why I wanted to ask you, what are your favorite Christmas or holiday traditions?
I love Thanksgiving and I love Christmas. My two favorites. I love Thanksgiving because it's without the presents, and then the giving is a little more personal. You cook and you eat and you play, whether it's football or throw and catch or soccer, whatever you do. It's always family oriented, and it's always people coming from some place and visiting that you haven't seen. It's always warm. It's my favorite time of year. And then I get to cook too. I get to cook a turkey, and I make a soup that everybody loves, and my own stuffing that I learned from an English lady many, many years ago in Montreal, where I was born. I used to watch this lady make stuffing, and I was so inquisitive, I never forgot it. And I make that same stuffing today. Wow. And my kids love it, and they love my soup. My grandkids, I should say now, they love my soup, and they love my corn. I do a little crazy thing with corn. It's something I learned when I was a kid. I couldn't cook, but somebody put me in charge of a vegetable. Oh. So I went and bought 3 varieties of corn: cream, sweet kernels, Mexicorn, and whatever else had corn in it. And I mixed them all together, and I just put them in a pot. Yeah. And everybody seems to like that at Christmas time.
Yeah.
Chef Peter, I don't think so, but
yeah.
Anyways. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, you answered the question.
Oh boy.
Anyways, I have my letter to read to you that I've prepped for weeks. So this one's for you, Peter.
Okay.
You are a true Canadian who has voiced many characters in many different animated projects, from playing the leader of the Autobots named Optimus Prime to voicing Disney characters like Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh. I mean, who could list them all? Out of all the Transformers I have seen on screen and off screen, Optimus Prime is my favorite, after being introduced to the character in the first live-action movie in 2007. Optimus is this brave, strong, and protective character and leader to all Autobots. And to fans who are inspired by him, after all, in his words, there's more to life than meets the eye. Peter, in my opinion, you're basically Optimus Prime and Eeyore all rolled into one, as both Transformers and Winnie the Pooh were my favorite movies back in the good old days. If he was going to be a hero, then he should be a real hero. And so many years later, he is still a real hero to this day. And all thanks to his late brother, whose greatest gift was friendship, compassionate, tolerant, and respectful to others, and many Canadians like us both. And to Larry, even though you're not here with us, we salute you. And I promise you that we'll continue to cheer on the maple leaf and fly the nation's flag. And your brother, Peter, that's you, Peter, will always be here for you. Us Transformers fans, myself included, will continue your legacy until the end, and will always cheer on the maple leaf for you. A true Canadian hero in voice acting for 80 years, a true leader of Cybertron, a true hero to the legacy of Optimus Prime. Always. We salute you, Peter Cullen.
Well, thank you, Sid. Those are wonderful.
It's all
words.
for you. And I think I have time for probably about one or two more questions. So,
Okay. Thank you.
so if you were to travel back in time to your younger Canadian self before he was the voice of Optimus Prime, Eeyore, and many other characters, what advice would you give him?
Never give up.
Just never give up.
Never give up.
Wow,
Never give
that's-
in. Nothing. Never give in. Never give up to anything. You know, no matter how small or big it is. Just never give up. It's nothing you can't. There's nothing you can't achieve. I mean, just even if you don't, you've tried. You've achieved. When you try hard, don't give up. You're achieving, and just remember to have faith in yourself and never give up on yourself. Strength comes in many ways, and
Yeah, that is true.
allow it, give it a chance to come, and you'll never regret it. You just do what you love to do. You just
Definitely.
get better at it, and you can't call it work if you just do what you love.
Yeah. And I prepped a little something for you, and I know you turned 80 a couple months ago, so it's hard to reach. Sorry about the wreath. This artwork is for you.
Oh, gee whiz. Oh, that's very clever. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this all for you. This artwork
Oh,
show
thank
how
you so
much
much.
I enjoy watching your work on screen, and
Now,
and I'll always be there to cheer on the maple leaf, the nation's flag.
Autobots transform and
And
roll out.
yeah, and roll out. Yes, amazing. And very
Right.
quickly, to end on a lighter note, is okay if you say an Optimus Prime quote for me in French, as you're a Canadian in Montreal?
Mon Dieu.
Sorry.
En français, Autobot transformé. Eh,
Yeah, I'll take that quote.
allons-nous.
Wow. Great guy to talk to, Peter.
Oh,
Thank
my
you
God.
very much. And
Seb Sanford.
oh, sorry.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much.
Have a Merry Christmas. Bye.
And you as well.